The release of the short message by the Guthrie family was very strategic.
I hope for the best for her. I hope that it's not too bad, and my heart aches for her. It's such a brutal sport sometimes.
We know the 2020 census, the errors were almost always to the detriment of red states.
People, especially people who live in rural communities, there's no Kinko's, there's no Office Max near them.
To protect privacy, safety, and dignity, especially for women and girls, by prohibited knowing, willful entry into opposite-sex designated government-owned or public restrooms and changing rooms.
So I got a little old guy, and he's going to have the craps in his pants because the men's bathroom is closed.
Yeah, you heard that right. Good morning. It is we'll just call it 8:08. It's Monday. Did your team win? Were you were you Seahawks? Were you Patriots? Were you neither? I will say, and I'm thrilled for the Seahawks. I was a childhood fan of the Seahawks, and I still have what I would call some residual loyalty to the Seahawks, and I was happy to see them win. I don't have like Seahawks merch. I'm not that diehard of a fan, but I like our regional teams. Anytime Denver or Seattle gets in, I find myself rooting for them because they're not that far away. However, I will say it may be one of the most forgettable Super Bowls in terms of the football itself, the quality of the football. Great defense, fabulous defense, really on the part of Seattle, and even the Patriots had pretty strong defense at times. I did not watch the halftime show, and I was excited about TPUSA's show and Kid Rock and Lee Bryce, Brantley Gilbert. Kid Rock's really the only one I knew like pretty well, and thought it was a good show. And then I've seen the fallout. And here's the thing: I'm very strategic. I knew that Bad Bunny was going to perform all of it in Spanish, and he hates ICE, very liberal, and I didn't want it to be, I didn't want to watch it if it was politicized, but my biggest interest was I did not want to reward the ratings by watching it. But I knew I'd have to know what happened, and so I'll rely on the downstream media clips of it to watch what happened. Now, the ones that I saw, it was I didn't hear the music. I only saw the dancing. It didn't look terrible, but I didn't watch the whole thing from start to finish either. I have since received texts from people saying, "Oh no, I'm not going to say it exactly how they did, but there were sexually suggestive dance moves that were going on." So there you have it. You know, all in all, I think we're all probably just going to kind of move on and move forward. It is unfortunate that here's an opportunity. And don't get me wrong. I have a pretty wide latitude of tolerance when it comes to entertainment. I recognize there are things that aren't my thing, but I know that they are other people's things, and so I'm good, whatever. But I do think it was a huge missed opportunity for the NFL on the year of America 250, and there was America 250 branding everywhere. And when I say that, I don't imply we needed a white Christian English-speaking performer. That's not what I'm saying. But I do think it would have been wise to pick a performer or performers that had a wider following in the United States that fit with the demo that watches NFL football. But I'm not the one in charge, and I'm not the one making decisions. But early numbers, we don't see a lot yet, but there were millions of people that tuned into the Turning Point USA halftime show, the alternative offering, and I thought it was pretty good energy. It wasn't big, huge arena Super Bowl halftime show energy that we typically see, but it was a pretty good show and pretty entertaining. So I won't critique it that way. So there's that, and we can talk about that if you want. Like I said, I don't know if this is going to be remembered as the best Super Bowl ever. Honestly, even though a team I like won, I don't know if you're the same way, but yeah. So there's that. We also have the legislative session. Man, things are cooking. Things are really, really moving. Cornell Razor has introduced a bill that is going to largely, basically it says, if you're a boy, you use the boys' room. If you're a girl, you use the girls' room. You wouldn't think you'd have to have a law like that, right? Like, that's one of those things where you think, well, it's just common sense. This is just baked into the human psyche that boys and men use the boys and men's room, girls and women use the girls and women's rooms. Nope. We have to babysit everything now because in this era of gender confusion, it's become an issue. So here's Cornell Razor introducing his bill.
3092, prohibiting entry into opposite sex restrooms or changing rooms. I commend to you this RS, which adds to Idaho Code 184117 to protect privacy, safety, and dignity, especially for women and girls, by prohibited knowing, willful entry into opposite sex designated government-owned or public restrooms and changing rooms, with clear exceptions and graduated penalties. I'm going to go through the key provisions of the bill. First of all, it's fully constitutional. It aligns with the Ninth Circuit ruling in Roe versus Critchfield, 2025, and it upholds Idaho's biological sex-based facility restrictions in Senate Bill 1100 under immediate scrutiny for protecting bodily privacy, which is a Supreme Court newspeak for it. It meets the criteria for this kind of law.
Okay, I'm not going to play the whole thing because he's talking about, after this, all of the carve-outs, the exceptions, the legalese, all of that. So I don't want to play that. But this clip got a lot of play over the weekend. This is Representative Stephanie Mickelson. She was the lone Republican to vote against it. She joined two Democrats. And this was her, at least a part of her argument.
Okay, I need to understand this because this is knowingly and willingly. So I got a little old guy, and he's going to have the craps in his pants because the men's bathroom is closed. He knowingly and willingly went into the female bathroom because it was either that or he was going to crap his pants. So my question to you is, how do you take care of that in this bill? Because as I read through it, it doesn't give any exception for the fact he might have a mess in his pants because he does knowingly and willingly enter into that restroom. So I guess my question becomes, Mr. Chairman and Mr. Razor, and I've been a female my whole life. I got to tell you, I've never had a man in the women's bathroom in my entire life, in my existence, across this globe, across this country, across this state. And I think sometimes we are legislating for problems that might happen or are one-offs, and I don't think we should be legislating like that. But I'd like to know how you're going to walk through, because a guy would knowingly and willingly, if he had the choice between using the women's bathroom or having a problem in his pants, is going to go in the women's bathroom.
Okay. I mean, I'm trying to wrap my mind around this for just a moment. I feel like there were two arguments that are somewhat contradictory here, which both arguments you could make. You could make a little old guy crap in his pants. That's one argument. And another argument would be, I've never seen this happen. I travel the globe, and I would bet you that out of all the uses of restrooms around the world, I've been present at 90% of them. Okay, she didn't say that. I've never quite understood this argument, that it's never happened to me, so therefore it's never happened. But the contradiction here, okay, so that's the sort of the logical flaw here. Because if you look at it just from a sheer mathematical standpoint, I use the restroom 6 times a day-ish. I would bet you my restroom uses are 0.0000001% of all restroom uses around the globe. So if you're just talking about a sheer sample, which, by the way, everything I'm saying could have this connotation and innuendo here. So if you're just talking about a sampling of the bathroom uses, I don't know if one person's experience in the bathroom can be definitive of what's happening in the bathrooms around the world, and in this case, it's in the state of Idaho. But so she makes that argument, the "it's not happening" argument, which was the same argument with the porn in libraries and school curriculum stuff. It's not happening. You can't find it. It's not happening. But then she argues about when it is happening. Little guy crapping his pants, whatever. Okay, which is it? Is it we don't need this law because it's not happening? Or is it we don't need this law because this is going to happen? I struggle to understand the logic here. Well, maybe there's no logic. That might be the issue, is that you find reasons to counter the Republicans that you perpetually think are over the top on these cultural issues. And there are a number of Republicans that we have in the legislature right now that they are kindred spirits with the Democrats when it comes to rolling their eyes at the culturally conservative Republicans. And to me, I feel like, honestly, and I would say this, and I don't mean it cynically or with any anger whatsoever. And I mentioned this to Julie earlier. I think you have Republicans that sometimes on fiscal issues, they'll side with Democrats simply because they don't want a sudden cut to this program. So they're more like, let's phase it out. But since the only option is to cut it completely, I can't vote for that. They might vote with the Democrats based on that. But when you have Republicans that are voting with the Democrats on these important cultural issues, and I would ask all of the mothers and fathers of little girls out there, I would ask all the husbands of wives, all the brothers of sisters out there, do you think it's important to protect the women and the girls in your life from predators coming into the bathroom? And do not say it doesn't happen and hasn't happened, because it does and it has. That to me is the most important thing. Sorry to the old little guys crapping their pants. Well, actually, first of all, I don't think, number one, sorry, see, I can't get away from it. Okay, first of all, I won't say number one or number two. I'll say, first of all, I think that every prosecutor in this state, of which there are 44, by the way, you would have a hard time finding a single one that would actually prosecute a diarrhea-ridden dude who, in the case there was no men's bathroom or it was closed, if he said to a clerk or an employee, I need you to know I have to use the women's bathroom, this is an emergency, that they're going to prosecute that. And furthermore, I think the bill already has exemptions for emergencies and exigent circumstances. Quick break, 8:22 now on News Talk 107.9. All right, 8:26 on News Talk 107.9. Kicking off your work week, and I think the farmers are waking up a little happy this morning, or at least not as worried, Julie, as we have had a rainstorm, and in the upper elevations, some snow is falling. I have to travel a bit today, so I've been watching the highway cams, and where I'm headed, we might have a little bit of a mountain pass that has some snow accumulating. But anyway, it's good to see some of that falling down, filling up the reservoirs.
I bet they hope it goes all week, but They'll
Yeah.
take what they can get.
You know what? I think we might get couple days of it at the very least, so that's good.
They would love that.
Also, big congratulations to Idaho native Breezy Johnson. She's from Victor. She lives in Jackson Hole now, trains in Utah, so 3 states are kind of claiming her. But she won one of the early golds in the downhill skiing, so good for her.
Congratulations. We also had big success with ice skating, I believe. The Team USA ice skaters.
Yeah, the Ilya, whatever his name is.
Blonde dude.
Tall, lanky kid. Yeah.
Did a backflip in the middle of his performance.
Yeah. I did catch some of that last night. It was good. So,
Okay. I have not watched any Olympics, so
haven't you?
I'm only reading headlines. Yeah, and poor Lindsey Vonn crashed.
Broke her leg.
Horrific crash, yes.
Yeah, she's done for the Olympics this year. So, which is sad because it was just a couple of weeks ago. They had to airlift her because of a previous crash.
An
So,
ACL, I believe, and now she actually broke a bone.
I mean, I hate to even say this but she's in her 30s now. They had, I think it was footage of her from 14
She might
years?
actually
2012.
be 40. She might have just turned 40.
Oh, really? Okay. So, does she have another Olympics in her in 4 years?
Probably not.
This is probably it for her, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so heartbreaking for her.
It is. So, we're looking at snow maybe until Wednesday even. So,
Okay.
rain and snow.
That actually makes me happy.
Yeah.
We need a little bit.
I know.
Some.
Gotta have something here. So, okay, Julie, I know you were you listening to the monologue?
I was.
Okay. Your thoughts. I know, we talk about this bathroom issue in Idaho. And do you think that courting the pants pooping older guys as a constituency to protect is a good political move?
Absolutely not. Those are grown people, grown men, grown women.
Yeah.
Look, she can make it about some guy crapping his pants, and I think that's so weird. But they're adults.
Yeah.
They have options. They have transportation options. They have the ability, hopefully, of years of experience of being able to get somebody to help them. A child is the person we're supposed to protect.
Yeah.
So, super bothered by her argument.
I am too. I almost feel like there's almost a reflection. I don't know Stephanie very well. We've interviewed her a few times. I feel like if you had her outside the context of sitting in rooms with Republicans she generally doesn't like, and you just asked her common sense questions, she would always side with the women and girls. I would think that she would.
I would hope she would. She's a mother. She's a grandmother. That's what I would hope for.
Yeah.
You know, my grandchildren don't live near me. When I'm with them, all of my hyper mother, grandmother senses go off. I remember a few months ago, I was walking in a mall with my grandson, and it was very busy. He's 3 years old. I was terrified. I couldn't let him out of my sight. And I remember those feelings as a mother of, oh my goodness, I've got to really protect this kid. This is just that important mother instinct. I don't know where that is when she's making this argument.
I don't either. I told you that. You sent this clip to me over the weekend, I think Saturday. Mm-hmm. And I listened. I'm like, okay, somebody's being really funny with AI because that's a weird argument to make. But then I listened again. I did a little research. And I'm like, no, that was her argument.
I mean, look, we live in a new world where our president does whatever he wants to. We swear all over the place, whatever. I would hope we rise above that. I also think it's weird she's kind of classless by saying crap in the pants.
Right.
There's so many other phrases. It's so easy to phrase around this that it not
is.
Crap in the pants.
Look, I'm not known for my filter, but I could have said a digestive emergency.
Yes.
Or
an upset tummy that's going to create a problem. There's so many things you could say.
Right. You wouldn't hear this.
Okay, I need to understand this because this is knowingly and willingly. So I got a little old guy, and he's going to have the craps in his pants.
She's one of the wealthiest legislators in the legislature.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Hey, it's Brad from Now 105.1 and QP99. I'm in the studio here. I love our studios, by the way. Ranger Rick back there. There's Neal and Julie doing their thing. Hey, when you want to advertise on the radio, what do? You call the radio station, right? But what do you do when you want to advertise on Facebook and Instagram and Hulu and Disney Plus and Peacock and the other TV streaming services? You can kind of click around on them and make guesses or read books or take courses online on how to do that advertising. Or you could call us at the radio station. At Sandhill Media, we take care of your local radio and digital marketing. So reach out to us at sandhillmediagroup.com and we'll make sure that your message gets heard and seen wherever your customers are.
Look, that's not the important part of the argument. The children are the important part. But it's just weird to me. And I know we live in a different time when people swear and they do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
I guess I just hope that we aim for a little bit more class than this.
Yeah.
But, oh, well.
Yeah, that's true. Somebody texted in and said, it's the Democratic playbook. It's not happening, so don't worry about it. It is happening, but not a lot, so don't worry about it. It is happening a lot. So why are you fighting against the norm? Right?
The whole thing, I listened to it. I think it was Friday night because this committee hearing meeting was on Friday.
Yeah.
And as I was pulling legislative clips on Friday night, it was a little wonky because whomever does the recording in these hearings, they were having issues.
Yeah.
So I listened to it and I'm like, is that really her? So I didn't send it to you right away. I started digging and I'm like, oh my goodness, this hearing happened? That's 100% her. And then I hit all shock level because it takes a lot to shock me now. Like, AI is so good. Someone could have gone out and done this about her and I wouldn't have even been surprised.
Yeah.
So that's why I was really pretty measured and calm. And I was like, okay, let's figure this out.
Yeah.
Then when I found out it was her, you had to push my jaw closed because I was like, what in the heck is going on?
What is
in
this?
the craps in the pants is going on?
I know. I had the same thought. So, although I will say, I think Rod Furness has sent her a thank you card. He's probably like, I'm still getting jokes now and then about the 3 Ps. So thank you, Stephanie, for... Even though you've mischaracterized guys like me, but, you know.
Is there some sort of an award we can nominate them for? The Bathroom Humor Award?
Well,
they weren't being funny, though. I don't know.
Someone just texted, come on, 3P Rod set the lower standard a few years ago on the House floor, no less. No, I will say, I probably cringed more at Rod's speech on the House floor than I did at Stephanie's committee testimony.
Probably, yes. Still, not good, neither.
No.
And I'll offer it up to Stephanie. Now, Rod will text me. I'll offer it up to Stephanie. If you're going to make an argument, maybe run it past somebody before you say craps in the pants in the middle of a hearing.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I know. I'm still looking. How could that... You're in the legislature.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got nothing.
I know. I don't either. All right, we're going to break. We'll be back. See, and my brain is like, I can make so many jokes right now, but I won't. We'll be back. $8:42 now, News Talk 1079. So, Julie, the Idaho Statesman did a piece on this very issue. Their headline, The Degradation of Society, Idaho Lawmakers Push New Bathroom Bills. And the quote they used from the audio that we played from Stephanie Mickelson, this is what they used. They said, I've been a female my whole life. I've never had a man in the women's bathroom in my entire life, in my existence, across this globe, across this country, across this state. I think sometimes we are legislating for problems that might happen or are one-offs, and I don't think we should be legislating like that. Julie, they had this.
So I got a little old guy, and he's going to have the craps in his pants.
They had that, and they didn't print that quote?
Well, it is the Idaho Statesman.
I guess it is. And then later, they had a quote from Monica Church, who's a Democrat out of Boise. Quote, what we're saying is what we don't want to happen to our daughter is that she sees a man, Church said. That's the crime. She sees one in a public bathroom. Not that she was assaulted or raped or, again, all the things that we have penalties for, but the thing that we want to save her from is seeing a man in a place. So isn't that, can we take this logic and apply it to January 6th? Those people were just in a place.
Right.
We're going to criminalize being in a place?
Sure. Well, it depends on what they want to. It's all like,
yeah.
You know, their arguments are ICE are not even supposed to be on the streets.
Right.
But they're in a place.
They're just in a place.
But when we need to protect transgenders, then we can enact they're in a place.
Jaywalking, you're just in a place. Mm-hmm. Trespassing, you're just in a place.
Mm-hmm. There's another part of this that I don't like about what you just said, that quote by Monica Church, which is, so we don't have the responsibility to protect the child? We only get to call it an outrage once the child's assaulted?
When they're attacked. There's no preventative.
Yeah,
There's
we don't
only
need to do any prevention.
Reactive, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really good, apparently not.
So the kid in your home that you're charged with, that you gave birth to, if they fall down the stairs, that's when we actually have to do something.
Right.
We don't put the gate up beforehand.
Yeah.
We wait until they fall down the stairs.
You know what this reminds me of? I actually had a libertarian tell me this one time because they were against preventative laws. They thought you should only make something that is harmful illegal, not something that could be. And they said, well, take drunk driving for an example. It's legal to drink and it's legal to drive. So why is it illegal when you mix the two? They made that argument.
So the little kid walking on the sidewalk will be darned. You shouldn't be on the sidewalk because driving is legal and drinking is legal.
Yeah.
So what if you get run over? That's when we take care of it.
Yeah, that's when we'll do it. We'll just react to it. Yeah. I don't understand their thinking at all. And I would bet you that Monica Church even would disagree with herself if you take her arguments and you apply it to other scenarios.
Right.
So I don't know, Julie, sometimes we play armchair lawmaker here. Mm-hmm. It would drive me crazy to be in the legislature with this.
Well, as I said earlier, this is a weird one to me. This was a very easy vote to just not do anything about. Just vote yes.
You're not going to win it anyway.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I don't either.
It's a cultural issue. It's one that the residents of Idaho are very firmly on the side of protecting the child.
I am so certain about that. I don't even want to do a flash poll. Like if we did a flash poll, Julie, we'd have a flood of people, maybe, or they wouldn't even bother because it is so obvious that you shouldn't let men and boys into women and girls' restrooms. It's so dumb that we even have to now have this law in place.
Well, you know, they do these weird things all the time, the left, of your children are going to be embarrassed that you supported ICE or whatever. Okay, since Stephanie's voting with the left, I'm going to ask her what the question that the left always asks is, well, what do you think your children are going to think about you voting for this? Your 4-year, I don't know what her grandsons, granddaughters, I don't know. Are you okay with your granddaughter going into a restroom and having some man show up who we're not sure what his intentions are?
Yeah.
Might be there just to use the bathroom. He might be there to do something other.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and especially when an alternative exists for that biology. Yeah. All right, it's 8:47, News Talk 107.9. Neil Larson along with Julie Mason. Hey, Julie, it's been a while since I've had some salad.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I want to share the salad with our listeners. Is that okay?
Yeah, do it.
Is agreeing to voter ID one of those compromises that you'd support? I don't think that we should underestimate what that could mean. Because in some people's mind, that means, well, you're going to have to Xerox or photocopy your ID to send it in to prove you are who you are. Well, there are a whole lot of people, especially people who live in rural communities, who don't. There's no Kinko's, there's no Office Max near them. People have to understand that when we're talking about voter ID laws, be clear about who you have in mind and what would be required of them to prove who they are. Of course, people have to prove who they are, but not in a way that makes it almost impossible for them to prove who they are.
What? What?
They have to do it, but not in a way that's going to be impossible.
The very purpose of an ID is to prove who you are. That is the reason you have it.
Also, geez, can I help her run a cell phone? We should ask Grok or ChatGPT. How many people how many adults do not have a cell phone in America? I bet it is so minor, so few. Every cell phone can have a free app that's a scanning app and turns your ID into a PDF.
Okay, can we go back to that for a minute? I don't even know what she's talking about there. If someone needs a copy of my ID, they make the copy of my ID. For instance, if I'm test driving a car, you go to the dealer, they're like, okay, we just need a copy of your ID. We destroy it once you're back and everything's fine with the car, but we do need to know who you are before you drive off the lot with a $40,000, asset here. They make the copy. When have you ever had to make a Xerox copy of your own ID?
I think what she's arguing here is that if you're going to vote by mail, the ballot is going to require you to include a copy of your ID.
Oh, okay.
And she's saying in rural communities, they don't even have a Kinko's or a Xerox machine. Okay, first off, every post office has one.
True.
And secondly, I would guess a majority of post offices have a printer that you could pay 20 cents for and you could send a copy from your phone.
Yes.
It's probably Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Like there is multiple ways. So she makes it sound like I think the word she uses are it's nearly impossible.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I just gave you two easy solutions.
Here's the thing. Us rural folk in our log cabins and our horse-drawn wagons and our kerosene lamps.
It's everybody not in San Francisco or New York City.
Right, exactly. I don't even know what she's talking about.
I don't know what she's talking about either.
And I've never voted by mail. Do you have to include a copy of your ID?
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I've never voted by mail either. And the important part is establishing who you are more than anything.
Yeah.
So these people are able to vote and register without showing ID.
Yeah.
If you register with your ID and then you can vote later without your ID, at least there's one measure employed there.
Yeah.
But all these people have to do is show up and say, hey, my name is so-and-so, and I live at this address, and it's within the precinct, and they get to vote in California.
Okay, yes, you're right about that. Do you remember during the House Bill 93 debate, when the argument was being made, there are no private schools out in rural communities? That argument was always made by people who live in the population centers, thinking they were looking out for the rural folk.
Uh-huh.
This is another example of Kamala Harris thinking she's looking out for the rural folk.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the rural districts, there may be a rural district somewhere that voted for Kamala Harris. Maybe. I doubt it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't they don't look out for us. It's weird. Like they bring this thing up that they don't know anything about people they don't connect with and do not support them, but they think they're there to help them and to rescue them from their own primitive existence.
Right. You poor, uneducated people. And I mean that poor, like you poor, uneducated people. One of the things she doesn't understand is there's actually pretty wealthy people who live rural too. But
yeah,
you poor, uneducated people. Let me, uneducated rich person, fix this problem for you.
Yeah.
I will forever say, stop babying rural people. They choose to be rural.
Well,
they want to live there. Leave them alone.
I'd also like to look. This would be an interesting statistic that if you were, ambitious enough, we could probably find this out. I would bet you that the mail-in ballot rate in rural areas is lower than the mail-in ballot rate in populated areas.
Yeah, even if you go actually by population, if you figure it out and then compare it so that you're not just going off a data point only, I bet you're right.
Yeah, because I promise you, I know these people, and Sarah Beth and Jedediah will get in the wagon and they will drive to the ballot box. Okay, we'll be back after this on News Talk 107.9. All right, it's 8:56 now on News Talk 107.9. Neal Larson, along with Julie Mason. Club Apple is celebrating 40 years of helping people better their lives and to establish lifelong habits that just enhance the quality of life and the longevity of their life as well. And so they're doing all sorts of things for their 40th anniversary. And I encourage you to get online, go to theclubapple.com or give them a call at 208-529-8600. That's 208-529-8600 and say, hey, I would love to come and have you show me around and show me what you have to offer. They have pools. They have a sauna. They have all sorts of workout equipment. I think one of their most valuable traits or aspects of the Club Apple is the personal training. They have so many personal trainers that can help you with whatever you're aiming for. Maybe you want to get ready for a marathon. Maybe you just want to be able to hike in the Tetons. Maybe you're trying to get shredded. Whatever it is, they've got a personal trainer that can help you reach the goals that you're interested in and that you're passionate about. Again, give them a call, 208-529-8600. They have hundreds of classes every month, things like Pilates and yoga and all sorts of cool stuff. So
I also believe that if you are new to the Apple and you sign up and create a membership, you get a free training session.
I think that's true.
Yeah, so yeah. I mean, they want you to get started on the right foot and have this be a success.
Yeah, and just see how big of a benefit it can be in your life. All right, it's 8:58. We're down to less than a minute now. This hour on News Talk 107.9. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about other things happening in the Idaho legislative session. Interesting answer from Senator Cook about House Bill 93. He says the horse left the barn. It's a done deal now. Mm-hmm. And so we'll talk about that and more coming up on News Talk 107.9 on this Monday.
The release of the short message by the Guthrie family was very strategic.
I hope for the best for her. I hope that it's not too bad, and my heart aches for her. It's such a brutal sport sometimes.
We know the 2020 census, the errors were almost always to the detriment of red states.
People, especially people who live in rural communities, there's no Kinko's, there's no Office Max near them.
To protect privacy, safety, and dignity, especially for women and girls, by prohibited knowing, willful entry into opposite-sex designated government-owned or public restrooms and changing rooms.
So I got a little old guy, and he's going to have the craps in his pants because the men's bathroom is closed.
Good morning. It is 9:08 on News Talk 107.9. Neal Larson along with Julie Mason. And if you would like to join us on the program, here is the number, 208-542-1079. You can call or you can text. And yes, you heard the promo earlier. If you haven't already, if you have, don't worry about it. An additional lovey, selfie is not going to better your chances. We just take one image from, each couple. But if you have not yet, make sure you send your love selfie to 208-542-1079. We're gonna go through. We're gonna pick a winner, Julie, and we'll give that away on the air this Friday, February 13th, on the eve of Valentine's Day. And then you can pick a day. You go on to just use that at your convenience. It is there are some certain limitations. You have to use it Monday through Thursday. But it's going to be great. Destinations Inn, Black Swan Inn. We partnered with them, and they are fantastic. If you haven't experienced one of these themed suites before, you'll love it.
Yeah, so fun. And could it be any easier? Y'all know you got a selfie on your phone of you and your loved one, you and your significant other. So just grab that selfie and send it to 208-542-1079.
Super simple. Yeah. Okay. So we have the Super Bowl, Julie, and I think as Super Bowls go, on a scale of 1 to 10, the whole package, I mean the entertainment, the Super Bowl, the football, the commercials, all of it, I'd give it a 5.5 out of 10. 6 maybe.
I think that's what I'm hearing from everybody. I probably saw 20 to 30% of it. That's it. So I don't feel like I can give a real, especially the commercials, I can't give you a real strong idea of what was going on there. I would say that most people are like, about the whole thing.
It was just that point where there were a few good ads and a few funny ads. But for the most part, I feel like the Super Bowl ad gold standard, we met that years and years ago, and we haven't been measuring up to it even close in the last few years.
Interesting about Bad Bunny's Super Bowl performance. None of my family members were together, right? Including me and my husband. He was in a different place than I was. My kids were each at their individual places. So in our family group chat, as soon as the Super Bowl ended, my son sent the text, "What did you think?"
Yeah.
I had been watching it on my drive home from Rexburg. Yes, it was just playing on my phone. So I wasn't really watching it all that
close. Right now, I'm Kanye West shaking my head, gifting at you right now.
It was just sitting there playing on my phone. So I wasn't really watching what was going on. I was trying to follow along with the music, couldn't understand it. So what I sent back to the text feed was, I'm a little confused. When Bad Bunny was chosen as the performer, I was promised I would know one or two of his songs.
Yeah.
Nothing sounded familiar to me. Nothing.
Yeah.
And that was what was pushed when Bad Bunny was first chosen. You guys can go back and look. That's what they were saying. Oh, yeah, he's mainstream. Yeah, he might be a Latin artist, but he's mainstream. And I was like, okay, it's not my genre. So, yeah, maybe I'll know one or... I knew nothing.
Okay, so there was a weird moment. And again, I watched the Turning Point USA performance. Like every good American should have. Just kidding.
And not while driving.
Not while driving. I was firmly planted in a recliner at that moment. But so they had Bad Bunny. But then you had these surprise appearances from Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin.
Right.
But they weren't which is weird. So it's almost like the NFL said, well, we have to at least have an artist or two that the NFL audience will recognize.
Oh,
right? I mean,
I think across the board, everyone knows who Lady Gaga is.
Absolutely, they do. Most people know who Ricky Martin is.
And there were plenty of people who had no idea who Bad Bunny was.
Absolutely. That's my whole point here. But if you had said Lady Gaga is going to be performing at the Super Bowl, the NFL audience would have said Lady Gaga is the halftime Super Bowl performer. But they didn't want that because they wanted Bad Bunny, who hates ice and is very political, to be the headline performer.
The release of the short message.
Sorry, I hit the space bar accidentally. My bad. I've had a couple of
He was
those this
getting a little
morning.
worked up over there.
Well, I was, but I'm just saying it's like they were trying to walk this tightrope of we got to give some artists to placate our traditional audience, but we have to have our America-hating performer too, like the one that hates ice, the one that is going to tell us why we're wrong on so many things. And so I feel like they were trying to have it both ways
Right.
with these surprise performances. And if you don't know who Ricky Martin is, Livin' La Vida Loca.
Yeah.
That's Ricky Martin.
So back to my family text feed. So
Yeah.
that's what I sent.
Yeah.
My daughter didn't watch it, yet I knew she was at a Super Bowl party. So whomever was running that party chose to change the channel.
Okay.
Okay. Pretty interesting. This is her
Yeah.
demographic, right? She's 27.
Yeah.
This is where we're at. These are
Right.
the people who should know Bad Bunny. Then my son sent back, vibe was far better than the talent. He just
Okay.
thought like the way he dropped through the floor and went through the building and visually, not while you were in the stadium, but watching it on TV, you felt like you were transformed to a different place. It didn't look like a football field or a stage.
Gotcha.
So that's what he meant by vibe. Like they did a pretty cool job of choreographing it and making it all work.
Yeah.
The talent wasn't that awesome.
Yeah.
Again, my son is about to be 32. It's his demographic. I
Yeah.
know I'm way out. This is not who they were trying to reach, not us.
No.
But even the group that they would be trying to reach were like, nah, it was okay.
Yeah, I didn't-
Meh.
I mean, you have the far left people who internally they are obligated to think that it was awesome. It could have been the worst performance in the world, totally off key, just bad dancing. You have these people on the far left. The moment you say, I hate ICE, they think that you are the Michelangelo of all performers and whatever. So there's some of that I think that I've seen that went on, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Look, I think it's you know which performance I enjoyed the most out of everything yesterday. Out of everything, including the TPUSA performances, which I enjoyed. Charlie Puth's national anthem was amazing.
Good.
He was pitch perfect. It was just a great present. He didn't try to do anything funky. I didn't see any kind of political messaging during it at all. At the end, you had the fighter jets flying over. I mean, it was like he nailed that. It was great.
Good. I did see some people asking the question online last night. If it's okay to have two national anthems performed, our real national anthem and then the black national anthem,
Yeah.
why isn't it okay to have two halftime shows?
Great question.
They want to just
you're right.
freak out about the fact that TPUSA did their own thing, but you guys inserted yourself and decided to create another national anthem. Also,
Yeah.
then I saw people in the thread comments saying, well, why isn't there an Asian national anthem?
That's a good point. There's a lot of people from the black community that play NFL football, but there's a
Sure.
lot of people from a lot of different cultures that do.
Well, is there a ton of people from the Puerto Rican culture that play football? Because
That's good point. Yeah.
we weren't fulfilling a population need by having Bad Bunny as the
Okay.
performer.
Can I just say, I heard the Black National Anthem. Why do they have to call it the Black National Anthem? Why can't they just perform it and it has a title and it has the meaning that it has? The problem is they're asserting it as an equivalent to something that is cherished to a lot of people.
Right.
That's the issue. It's not the song. It's not the message in the song. It's that scoot over. We're going to do our national anthem.
Okay,
And
so
that's the problem.
So the right did exactly the same thing and then scoot over. We're going to do our own halftime. Oh, the clutching of pearls and the freaking out and the mental gymnastics.
So true. Yeah.
Okay, they just did what you did.
Yeah. Can I ask a really stupid, simple, honestly, a stupid, simple question?
Mm-hmm.
Would anybody be that upset if it was just a football game and some non-controversial musical performances? Would anybody truly object to that? That it's a 4-hour production that is just entertainment, period.
So there's a guy, and you would know who I was talking about. I don't know his name, but he does a whole bunch of TikTok videos.
Yeah.
And he did one, and he said, can we just be a little less enlightened? Can we, that was more
Agreed.
fun when we were.
Life was way more fun when we weren't as in. That's a good point. Let's go to the phones. 208-542-1079. Hey, caller, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's up?
Well, instead of, like, they do these musical performances every Super Bowl, why don't they switch it up and, like, one year do, like, a magic show or something different? Why does it always have to be music? Or have, like, midget wrestling or something?
You know what? I would totally tune in if Nate Bargatze did a comedy routine.
Yeah, there was some people floating that idea. Just go away from the whole musical artist.
Yeah, I agree. I don't hate the idea. Let's go to the next caller. Welcome to the show, caller.
Hi, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just getting ready for class. You know, I watched the football about halfway, started watching the halftime show, and it just wasn't impressive. I see that we all go back to basics, and that's what I believe. So I did not like it at all, just to give my opinion out there.
Okay. Well, thank you for the call.
Yeah. I think that's what most people wanted. In fact, I was sitting there thinking about this as I was gathering headlines last night. You know, you really have a pretty divisive person on the right with Kid Rock, meaning he's very, very firm in his stance, and he's been very outspoken about the left. Then you choose Bad Bunny, who has a history of wearing dresses, very pro-LGBTQ, and is not going to sing a stitch of English lyrics.
Yeah.
Those are very polarized people. Could we just do someone in the middle for a musical performance?
Right.
Somebody who doesn't talk politics, but everybody likes?
I agree with you 100%.
Wait, aren't we supposed to be fulfilling the needs of most of the people sitting in the stadium?
Yeah.
But instead, we went clear far on one way and clear far on the other way.
Okay. Can I make also this suggestion while we're having this ad hoc Super Bowl halftime show for 2027 committee meeting here? I hope Goodell is listening.
I second that motion.
All right. Yes. There is a really cool documentary that if you are Gen X or lived through the 80s and you were cogent at all, you will love to watch this documentary. It's called The Greatest Night in Pop, and it's basically the story of how We Are the World happened. Mm-hmm. And how I think it was the Grammys. There was one night in the early to mid-'80s, they were having the Grammys, so all the big artists were in town other than Madonna. Madonna wasn't there. But they brought in everybody. Michael Jackson, Lionel Richie, Bruce Springsteen,
Stevie Wonder,
Cyndi Lauper. Mm-hmm. And they're like, okay, we've written this song. We want to do this cooperative performance of this really uplifting song. So it was really about all the drama that led into that. But it's footage that you've never seen before. Most of us have seen the footage of those artists singing We Are the World. But this is all the background footage. And I'm glad they had the foresight to just have the cameras rolling on that night. And, you know, there's a little drama, but it's just such an intriguing inside look at the creation of that. Again, it's called The Greatest Night in Pop. What if they brought together 8 or 10 artists and they did something collaborative, but it doesn't have to be overtly political? Or if it is, it's something that we all, I don't know if there's anything left that we all agree on anymore, but find something that is just high talent and just people that are truly will bring us together. Like, what's funny about the left is they think they are bringing people together, or at least they say they are. But there's always a couple of middle fingers in the midst of what they're saying. F ICE or whatever. I don't think you're bringing people together. And how do they say they are? This is, I guess, the thing that I don't understand. You say you're bringing people together, but Bad Bunny's teasing this whole thing that it's going to be anti-ICE, that he's whatever. But then when you look at the polling in America, a good majority, somewhere around 60 to 70% of America, agrees with what Trump is doing with immigration. Mm-hmm. It's time to enforce our immigration laws. You're not bringing people together, but right. you say you are. That's part of the gaslighting. It's part of the lie.
Yeah. That this was actually a universal halftime show. No, it wasn't.
No,
it wasn't. And it's I don't have a strong opinion about it. I just am like, I thought it was kind of boring, what I could see of it, whatever. I didn't think they were trying to reach me anyway. So it's not like I had this high expectation. But don't lie about what you were doing.
Yeah, right. The reason I think why they say it is it's similar to the Christian nationalism discussion in a sense. They want to make you feel alone. They want you to feel isolated, that, look, this is about coming together. So if you have reservations about that, you're the one on the fringe. You're the one that's not participating in the big party. You're not part of the group. And so people naturally are like, with their predisposition to FOMO, they're like, okay, I'm part of this now. I hate ICE too. Yeah. They look around. I hate ICE too. But you don't. But you know that that's the popular thing to say.
Right.
All right. Next caller. Welcome to the show, caller.
Hey, how you doing, Neal? It's Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Hey, Idaho's going to save the union.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, is it windy down in I'm a little higher up towards the Teton. Is it windy in Idaho Falls today?
Yeah, on the way in, it certainly was. I've been in a studio for now almost 4 hours, so I don't know right now. But yeah, it has been.
Well, I'm just saying, Idaho has some tough winter weather, and but you go fishing, and life's pretty normal. And I've been around a lot of different places, and thank God for Idaho.
Yeah, well, agreed. Yeah, I would agree with that. It still feels like America in Idaho, right?
It does. It feels exact. That's my point. It's I'm older now. I'm in my mid-70s, and you go to the store and people open the door for you all the time.
Yeah. I agreed.
Whereas I forget where I was. A very large other race lady walked in front of me and knocked me over, and I went, whoa! So this is getting pretty animal out there.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yep.
Well, you guys are great. I listen to you all the time, and greatest morning show in any state I've been in.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. You're going to heaven now.
Thank you. I needed that bad.
Okay, all right. Don't we all? All right, quick break. We'll come back. On News Talk 1079, we'll continue. 208-542-1079 is the number.
Okay, so on ABC News, there's a headline that says, Lyft to launch rideshare service for teens. This is pretty interesting. On Friday, a civil suit was settled in Arizona. Uber was forced to pay $8.5 million to a woman who was raped in the back of a car.
Yeah.
She had already proven her case criminally. They got the guy.
Yeah.
And then she went after Uber because Uber has an internal rating service where before they even send the car, they determine the danger of the ride. They figure out if you're solo, if you're female, the obscureness of your route, the time of day, all of those things, and then they give it a rating. They were doing that clear back for years, 2021, 2022, 2023. This woman was raped in 2023. Yet they would not inform the rider that it was a dangerous ride. So this woman booked this ride in Tempe, Arizona. Her ride was given an 8 out of 10 on the danger scale.
Yeah.
And they sent the guy anyway. And he ended up raping her in the back seat.
Oh, my
And this
word.
is not a one-off. There are over, I think there's 3,700 current cases wrapped up in a multi-defendant or multi-prosecution lawsuit.
Yeah.
Then there's 500 individual state cases in California alone.
Oh, that's crazy. All right, 9:28 on News Talk 1079. Neil Larson, Julie Mason, and you. 208-542-1079 is the number if you'd like to reach us on the program this morning. Julie, we have talked somewhat about this because it's been inescapable for the last week and a half, but the Epstein files. I saw some headline about the FBI saying there does not appear to have been any conspiracy to blackmail powerful figures, particularly men, in order to advance influence, basically. Your thoughts on this?
Well, I saw the same headlines and I went, yeah, no way.
I did too.
That was my thoughts. I think that the whole Epstein thing has been one gigantic lie from beginning to end. Time frames don't make sense to me. Skips in the video of Epstein's jail cell don't make sense to me. I saw Matt Walsh go off on a tirade last night on X based upon the Epstein survivors Super Bowl commercial. He was saying we're way past due now. Name your abusers.
Yeah.
Name those who assaulted you. You've already come out. You've been on commercials. You've been on Capitol Hill. You've been on Fox News. You've been on Newsmax. You've been on CNN. Name your accusers. And then Elon Musk came on to the same thread and said, I'll pay for any defamation lawsuits.
Yeah.
I'll help you. Name them. Because that's the point we're at. Do you feel like we have anything settled?
No, not at all. And I feel like, look, how many years has it been? 2019 is when I think he died, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're now coming up on 7 years since he died. The intelligence community and the law enforcement community has had those records that entire time. And I saw someone on social media make the comment or share the sentiment basically that they've had plenty of time to scrub those files of anything that's going to get anybody big, right? So if that much time goes by and they can either redact or manipulate or eliminate any files that are going to implicate someone who's powerful, then they can release them and a week and a half later say, there was never any effort to do that. But here's the thing. I say that knowing the logical fallacy that I'm putting forward, that I can make an accusation that is not disprovable, right? So
right.
I also recognize that weakness in saying that, but at the same time, why did we have to wait so long? Why are the Democrats all of a sudden clamoring for the Epstein files to be released when we hardly heard a whisper about it during all of Biden's years?
Yeah, and if there was really Trump information in there that would be so damning that you can walk around and call him a pedophile, which a whole bunch of women my age are doing, by the way.
Right.
All over the internet. So if that information was actually in there, you don't think they would have used it?
Yeah, I agree. So I have seen some weird things, but I don't know what to believe and what not to believe.
I don't either.
Apparently, there is a document in the Epstein files that is dated one day before Epstein died that talked about his death. It's almost like they created the announcement before it actually happened.
Okay, I haven't seen that. But again, I don't know what to believe and what not to believe.
That's my point. I say that with that caveat. Like, I don't know who's creating what with AI now. There's been some kind of convincing AI-created stuff about the Epstein files that isn't true. We just live in an age where I don't know, there are multiple layers of, I can't trust this.
So there was a picture that was released in the Epstein files. It's a man and a woman in a hot tub. It's a profile of the man. To me, it looks like Bill Clinton. Could I say with 100% accuracy it's Bill Clinton? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
That's the profile that it looks like, but it might be somebody else. There were women my age actually circulating that picture saying it was Donald Trump.
Oh, really?
Look, you got to calm down, people. If I can look at the picture and go, there's no way to really tell who it is.
Yeah.
I put your emotions aside, look at it logically. You can't really tell who it is in the picture. Don't run with it and say it's Trump. You can't tell either.
Julie, I think, don't take this as an insult. I think you underestimate the level of mental illness that they have, though.
It is so shocking to me because you just make yourself look silly. And you're okay with that?
But we live in an age where I need that to be Trump, so therefore it is Trump. There's no critical thinking. They don't vet the truth. It's just, I just need that guy in the hot tub to be Donald Trump, so therefore that's
who it's going to be.
I have spoken it, and therefore it is.
Shall it be written? Shall it be done? Or whatever that phrase is.
Yes. Let it be written. Let it be. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know either. But
what we don't have is critical thinking skills anymore.
Yeah.
We have we have exchanged those for notoriety, for likes, for follows, for a paycheck from TikTok or Instagram. Your critical thinking skills became a commodity that you exchanged so you could have something else in life.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like they're they're capable of it, but when the emotions are high enough, they let the critical thinking go dormant because their emotion needs it to be another.
Mm-hmm. They'll get women in their follows and likes with the clapping hands emoji.
Yeah.
And that means more.
Yeah. No, it's so true. I'm just seeing here, Turning Point USA's patriotic Super Bowl alternative got about, Fox is reporting about 5 million. I've seen 6 million. It probably didn't reach as much as Bad Bunny because it wasn't, officially part.
It's not
but
going to.
You know what? You get multiple millions. That's a success.
Mm-hmm. This is not their bread and butter.
No.
And they didn't have a built-in audience around a game.
No.
So in theory, I think they were hoping it would be like 20 million. I really do. I didn't think it would ever get there. I didn't set my expectations at that.
Yeah.
But 5 to 6 million is a pretty good number.
That is a pretty good
when
number.
You had no lead in, no purpose for anyone to be there, that's a pretty good number.
Mm-hmm. I won't slam it at all. Was it live or did they pre-tape it?
Oh, I don't know.
That's what and where was it? Where was the actual performance? It looked almost like it was a Friday night small venue performance. You had a couple hundred people there, and it was energetic. It was fine.
Yeah.
It was good. So, all right, 9:36 on News Talk 107.9. We'll break for our news, but we'll continue after this. So why was Bad Bunny wearing number 64? What was that about?
I have no idea I have no idea. I was, you go into it and you're like, well, I hope he doesn't wear a dress, and he didn't.
Yeah.
I thought the whole shoulder pad thing was weird, but he carried that football around with him, so I think that was part of it. He was supposed to look a little bit like a football player, which was weird to me.
Yeah.
I also, you guys are going to think this is crazy, but I was really grateful that the couple that got married on the field that he walked over to in the middle of the performance, that it was a man and a woman instead of a same-sex couple.
Yeah.
I was trying to find some wins in there.
Yeah.
So those are a few of them. For me, the only part of the whole thing that resonated was when he gave his Grammy Award to a little boy, which I interpreted as that was him as a child, and he's telling the child you can accomplish anything.
Okay. Makes sense.
That's kind of cool.
That is cool.
If we're gonna just have no emotion about it and look at it, that's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
Other than that, I thought the dancing was, I didn't think it was dancing. It was like a mosh pit is what it was like.
Yeah.
It was weird. There were no formation changes. I'm looking at it from dancing, like what I watched my daughter do and some really amazing performances I've seen. And I didn't even come close. So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, my route says surface friction is good. Surface is wet. There might be a little rain coming down.
Okay.
The other one, surface status is wet. No precip. Surface friction is good.
As long as it's not freezing, you're going to be fine. So what's the temps?
That's 32.5 at this one.
Okay. Well, traffic will keep it on. You got to get down a little bit.
Well, and when the sun comes out and hits the concrete, the pavement, it also warms up above the air temperature too, or it can. So,
Richard said he believes his grandfather played football, and that was his grandfather's number. That's why he wore that.
Oh,
okay.
Could be.
And then Amanda watched the Turning Point show like you did. She thinks it was pre-taped.
I felt like it was. Kind of had that because they kind of needed to start it I guess the live show could have started at the right moment, but just when they changed artists, it felt like there was a cut, like an edit cut to it.
How was your dip?
Good. The queso.
You would make it again?
I would. I would, but we had fewer kids than we thought we'd have, so there's so many leftovers. So
I came home and made really good sandwiches. That was it.
That was it, huh?
No dip, no chips, no desserts, no little smokies.
Just sandwiches.
Just sandwiches.
That's okay. Coming up on 941 News Talk 1079 208 542 1079 if you'd like to join us on the program this morning. And Julie, the Utah House has passed a bill that will fully ban transgender treatments for minors. And this story, Utah News Dispatch, 2 bills to restrict access to gender-affirming care for transgender people and another to require private insurers to cover detransition treatments, won approval from the Republican-controlled Utah House Thursday. All 3 bills now advanced to the Senate for further consideration. The first bill was HB 174, which would turn Utah's 2023 moratorium on newly prescribed hormonal transgender treatments for Utahns under the age of 18 into a full ban, and it would require Utah doctors for teenagers currently undergoing treatments to stop writing prescriptions by January 28th, a year from now.
So they get a little bit of time to move on out of this.
Yes.
It's not going to be quitting cold turkey.
To plan ahead a little bit here. So,
which, for people who are rolling their eyes at that, if you've had your kid on these drugs and you live in Utah, you're probably going to have to move.
Yeah.
The drugs are necessary.
Yeah.
And so the point of this law is to stop anybody from doing this from this point forward.
Yeah.
Once you've like jumped off the edge, if you've done certain surgeries or whatever, you can't live without the medications.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I think that you have to, how do I talk about this in a family-friendly manner?
Yeah.
There has to be certain levels of estrogen and everything to keep things moist and where they need to be.
Sure.
If you've created that many changes to the physical body.
You said the word moist.
I'm sorry. I was trying so hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's a 13-year-old and they've only been on the medications for a little bit, I think you can ramp down from that.
Okay.
But if you've gone so far as to actually take drastic measures to change your body, I think you're going to have continued care. I don't think you would be able to live in Utah.
Would 1998 Julie be horrified at what 2026 Julie has to talk about now?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's horrifying.
All I know is if you've never taken the time to look and see what they do to these bodies when they transition somebody, there's no other word besides the word mutilation.
There's no going back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can try to do a repair, but they do not restore what was lost.
No, it's very difficult. So I think the year buffer there is really important, because whether or not they've made these choices or whatever, these people matter.
Yeah.
And so they've got to find the appropriate care for themselves. And but I also believe that we've got to stop these doctors from capitalizing or benefiting off the mutilation of people.
Isn't that really the problem? Mm-hmm. That once this became big money to the medical establishment, notice the level of propaganda there was to support it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It was big money.
Big money.
Well, you and I were so against the Edmo case.
Oh, yes.
Here in Idaho.
Yeah.
We've got people who are so ill, who can't get liver transplants or whatever, and this is what our state tax dollars are paying for?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember that saga that we went. Anyway, so it is interesting. Have we heard any update on if Utah wants to tax the fuel still? Have we seen that bill?
No, but I did have an interesting conversation on Saturday. So let me share some of that. I was talking to somebody who works for one of these fuel companies here in East Idaho.
Yeah.
And I just made a joke that please start buying all of your fuel from Wyoming or Montana.
Yeah.
And his response to me was, we almost do exclusively anyway. It's cheaper.
Oh, really?
Utah's already created an issue with the cost of the fuel. So all they're going to do is punish themselves all that much more. And yes, fuel is available from from Wyoming and Montana. And so I'm even more baffled by the smugness of the Speaker of the House from Utah.
So now this person you were talking to, were they saying that since this discussion started, they've shifted providers, that just Utah looking at this, analyzing this, has created different buying patterns for the wholesalers here in East Idaho?
No, what he said is that they were already doing it. They were already choosing Wyoming and Montana over Utah.
Okay.
And that primarily, if they do get a shipment from Utah, it's more like an emergency shipment because it can happen faster than Montana or Wyoming because of the way the refineries are and the travel back and forth.
Okay.
So if they need fuel quickly, they go to Utah. But for a majority of their fuel needs prior to this whole thing, they were already going to Montana and Wyoming. Okay. So that's why I'm just like, what? Why the smugness? Why aren't you helping your people out? Why are you creating an even bigger problem?
Yeah.
Because clearly East Idaho fuel buyers are going somewhere else.
Well, and I think that's only going to accelerate too. Now, with my ChatGPT search last week, I think it said somewhere around 60% of the fuel that Idaho uses does come from Idaho. So maybe it's a regional
come from
thing.
Utah.
So like Magic Valley and Boise might get a lot from Utah.
That could
there's
be.
that interstate corridor that goes up through there.
Yes, that could be.
But maybe we should create a Monida pipeline, pipe it down from. I'm serious. Why not?
I'm up for anything.
I am too.
Don't hurt your friendly neighbors who bring you a lot of commerce.
So weird that they would bring this up. Just, that you'd bring it up publicly before you even talked with Idaho's elected leaders.
Right.
Like you went,
make a plan.
Well, what we found out is they actually did try to keep it secret. It was a friend of Mike Moyle's in Utah that said, you probably ought to be aware of this. And then Moyle outed him. So I guess that's what happened. They didn't want to be outed. They wanted to surprise us with it. And now it's turned into a big snafu for them.
Yeah. If you're going to ask me to have my crystal ball, this is going nowhere.
I would agree.
I think it dies.
I think that speaker down there probably wants to save face a little bit. But I think the lawmakers down there are like, we're going to open a Pandora's box if we try to do this with Idaho. So I don't know if we give them any water.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
You get nothing.
Calm down, people.
Yeah. James says Google says it's even higher, that it's 75 to 80%. Now, keep in mind, this is just one fuel provider, the guy that I was talking to, and there's like 3 big ones.
Yeah.
So one of those fuel providers to East Idaho could have a pretty exclusive contract with Utah. Doesn't mean it's not going to change.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. All right, we're going to break. Final break coming up. News Talk 1079. Neal Larson, Julie Mason, back after this.
I also learned that, do you remember the gas stations used to be called KJ's?
Yeah.
Then that family sold out due to the tragedy to a Canadian company. The Canadian company is now sold again.
Oh, really? Because they're now on the run, right?
Or are they good to go? Yeah, are they on the run?
Yeah.
Which ones are they?
I think it is on the run.
Okay.
No, good to go separate.
Okay, on the run. So now they're which on the run sounds like a place for Stephanie's little old guys.
I was going to make the same joke. I'm glad you got to it before I did. On the runs. Yeah. Yeah. Now, if a Canadian company owned it, why didn't they staff it with or supply it with ketchup potato chips?
I don't know. All I know is when the Canadian company took it over, you and I became incredibly disappointed in the deli.
That's true. Yeah,
it was kind of our moment of the deli.
Yeah.
Which I felt bad because we had friends at these places that we would go and talk to and say hi. And we miss those friends. But if your deli isn't the best, maybe it's beefed up now. Maybe it's better. Maybe we need to go back.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, give it a shot again.
Yeah.
Well, there will be no cardio outside today.
Nope, not for you.
So working out inside.
We may have a short post show, guys.
Neal's leaving town.
I'd have to get out of town. Here we go. All right, 9:52 on News Talk 1079. It's Neal Larson, along with Julie Mason and you, 208-542-1079. And we're going to go right to the phones. Caller, how are you today?
Good. This is Phil in Pocatello.
Hi, Phil.
Hi. Hey, do you know why the gas prices around town have been going up?
No.
Oh,
yes.
Neither do I.
Supply and demand.
Oh.
He was just giving you a smart aleck answer. We really don't know.
I was kind of thinking global warming, but,
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be. Although we've had them come down massively over the last few months, so I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering why all of a sudden they're going up. I haven't heard anything about, people driving more and other than the cold spell that we've had nationwide, that might have something to do with it. But
yeah,
I don't know. I just thought that if somebody out there knows why they're going up, other than, the midterm elections is coming sooner and sooner. So maybe they're doing certain things to try to put their toe in the water to do that. But anyway, have a good day and have a good trip.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. 208-542-1079. I have never been able to figure out gas prices and why they do what they do. And I do remember, because this comes up from time to time, where people are like, why is it 20 cents more in this town an hour away? Why? First of all, my very first answer to all of that is, I have no freaking idea. So that's my first answer. But what I do know is there are so many links in the chain to what can cause gas prices to go up or down. Mm-hmm. It can be a shortage in a certain area or a natural disaster over here in a place that was a provider for some fuel ingredient or whatever. Like the markets will change the price. The futures, all of it can have an impact on it. So it's hard to just give one answer as to why the gas is going up. Sometimes it's obvious, like Labor Day, and there's going to be a lot of travel, so there might be a shorter supply. That's kind of obvious. But I think these sort of day-to-day fluctuations, I think it's very difficult to figure out why.
My conspiracy is they've got some sort of a signal chat between each other, and all of the gas stations are involved in the signal chat. And then they all right, the week of February 9th, we're going to raise it by 7 cents. And then they all go around and raise their gas prices by 7 cents.
That's your theory? There's collaboration.
That's my conspiracy theory.
It could. Let's go to the next caller. Welcome to the show, caller.
Is that me?
It's you, yes.
Neal, have you heard anything about a petition that's gotten enough signatures to get a new initiative on the ballot? And it's going, from what I understand, if I understand it correctly, it will make legal abortion up to the time of birth, the gender changing procedures, all legal.
So I have, here's what I've heard. I've heard of 3. The marijuana initiative, which absolutely is underway. They've got about 45,000 signatures. There is also one to remove the grocery tax, sales tax on groceries. And then I have heard of murky, but I've heard of this one regarding abortion. But I have not heard the detail that you just gave to us before.
Okay. Well, I heard that on, another radio station.
I didn't know those existed, but whatever.
Well, I have Alexa, and sometimes Alexa fouls up. So
gotcha. Yeah.
I'll blame it on Alexa.
All right. Well, we can do a little digging and find out if there is. But I think there is a group out there wanting to do abortion as a voter initiative. It worked in Kansas for them. So in the wake of Roe v. Wade, I'm not sure how much traction it gets now that we're a few years removed from that. But anyway, thank you. Thank you for the call.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything about it?
I understood it a little differently in the very brief, and this was a few months ago I read this, but I thought basically what they were going to do is get rid of the trigger law, which then takes it back to its original ruling, which was you could have abortion in Idaho up to a certain week or something like that.
Okay. So here's no, this one is it's got over 50,000 signatures, according to Copilot. So with that caveat,
our least favorite assistant Copilot.
There's a 70% chance it's not true. That's a joke, but. It says the Idaho Reproductive Freedom and Privacy Act initiative is a significant ballot measure aimed at restoring reproductive rights. It seeks to end the near total abortion ban and ensure access to health care in cases of pregnancy, complications, or emergencies. The initiative, known as the Reproductive Freedom and Privacy Act, would restore the right to abortion, ensure access to health care in cases of pregnancy, complications, or emergencies, and safeguard birth control, emergency contraception, and IVF in Idaho. I have heard nothing about the gender surgery part of it, though.
Mm-mm.
Like, I knew there was an abortion thing happening, but that would be a completely separate issue and probably tossed out.
I also don't think it's up till the point of birth either.
Yeah.
So I think those two things are probably missing.
That would be a deal killer for a lot of Idahoans.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's going to do it for the show today. Thank you all for being a part of the program. Julie and I are back tomorrow right here on News Talk 107.9.